Welcome to my channel. My name is Shinko. We are trying to escape from reality and the horrors of the world with fiction. The Warriors, Fire and Ice. This is the second book in the series. If you're interested in checking it out, I have other videos. I read the entire first book. We're on chapter 2. Fireheart had just tried to tell Blue Star everything he knew, but she didn't necessarily believe him. And to be honest, do we, the audience, believe him? Tiger Claw certainly seems rough around the edges, doesn't he? Alright. Chapter 2. Blue Star halted on the edge of the clearing with her clan lined up beside her. Some of the cats from River Clan and Shadow Clan turned and acknowledged their arrival. "Where'd you disappear to?" Graystripe appeared at Fireheart's shoulder. Fireheart shook his head. "Doesn't matter." He was still troubled and confused by his conversation with Blue Star and felt glad when Graystripe did impress him. Turning his head, instead, he went to peer around the clearing. "Hey, look," he meowed. "The Shadow Clan cats are looking stronger than I thought they would. After all, Broken Star left them all half-starved." Fireheart followed his gaze to a sleek Shadow Clan warrior. "You're right," he agreed, surprised. "Mind you, we did do most of their fighting for them," scoffed Graystripe. Fireheart's amused purr was interrupted by Whitestorm. "The Shadow Clan cats fought as hard as we did to chase out Broken Star. We should honor their determination to recover," he meowed sternly before padding over to a group of warriors who gathered beneath one of the great oaks. "Oops," meowed Graystripe with a guilty glance at Fireheart. The young warriors stayed on the edge of the clearing. Fireheart could easily pick out the apprentices from the other clans. Their fur looked kit-soft, their faces round, their paws plump and clumsy. Two warriors approached Graystripe and Fireheart. A small brown apprentice tagged after them, and Fireheart recognized the gray tabby Tom from Shadow Clan, but not the smoky black Tom who walked with him. "Hi!" meowed the gray Tom. "Hello, Wetfoot," replied Fireheart. He glanced at the dark brown cat. Wetfoot meowed. "This is Black Claw of River Clan." Graystripe and Fireheart nodded their greeting. The apprentice stepped timidly forward. "This is my apprentice, Oakpaw," added Wetfoot. Oakpaw looked up at Fireheart with wide, anxious eyes. "Hi, Fireheart," he meowed. Fireheart nodded his head in greeting. "I hear Blue Star made you warriors after the battle," meowed Wetfoot. "Congratulations! It must have been a cold vigil." "It was," Graystripe agreed. "Who's that?" Fireheart broke in. A sleek she-cat with a mottled brown pelt had caught his attention. She was sharing words with Tiger Claw beside the great rock that stood in the center of the clearing. "That's Leopardfoot, our deputy," growled the River Clan warrior. Fireheart's fur stiffened as he thought about the previous River Clan deputy, Oakheart, and how he had died in battle with Thunder Clan. He was saved from having to say anything by Blue Star's bounding onto the top of the rock to start the meeting. Two other cats joined her, and one of them, an elderly black Tom, sounded the call for all cats to gather beneath the rock. Fireheart recognized the black Tom and couldn't help feeling surprised. Had old Night Pelt become Shadow Clan's leader since Broken Star had fled? When the cats had settled in front of the great rock, Blue Star spoke. "Thunder Clan bring to this gathering their new medicine cat, Yellowfang," she announced formally. She paused while all eyes turned to the old she-cat with the thick fur and flattened muzzle. Fireheart noticed her shuffle her haunches onto the hard ground. Early in his apprenticeship, he had spent almost a whole moon nursing the she-cat back to health after she had come to ThunderClan. Now, he could tell by the way her right ear twisted slightly that she was uncomfortable under the gaze of the other clans. Yellowfang had been medicine cat to ShadowClan, and cats hardly ever left one clan to join another. She looked around the crowd slowly until she met the gaze of Running Nose, ShadowClan's new medicine cat. There was a brief pause. Then they exchanged a respectful nod. Yellowfang's ears straightened and Fireheart relaxed. Bluestar spoke again. We also bring 2 newly appointed warriors, Fireheart and Graystripe. Fireheart held his head high, but as he felt all eyes turn to look at him, a surge of self-consciousness made him flick his tail nervously. Nightpelt stepped forward, brushing past Bluestar to stand on the highest part of the rock. I, Nightpelt, have taken over the leadership of ShadowClan, he announced. Our former leader, Brokenstar, broke the warrior code, and we were forced to chase him out. No mention of the fact we helped him do it, Graystripe whispered to Fireheart. Nightpelt continued. The spirits of our ancestors have spoken to Running Nose and chosen me as leader. I have not yet traveled to Mothermouth to receive StarClan's gift of 9 lives, but I will make the journey tomorrow night while the moon is still full. After my vigil at the Moonstone, I shall be known as Night Star. Where is Brokenstar now? Called a voice from the crowd. I think we can assume that he has left the forest with the other banished warriors. He knows it would be dangerous for him to try to return, answered Nightpelt. I hope so, Fireheart heard Frostfur murmur to her neighbor, a plump brown queen. RiverClan's leader, Crookedstar, stepped forward. Let's hope Brokenstar has had the sense to leave the forest for good. His greed for territory threatened us all. Crookedstar waited for the yowls of agreement to die down before he went on. While Brokenstar was ShadowClan's leader, I allowed him to hunt in our river, but now ShadowClan has a new leader, and this agreement can no longer stand. The prey on our river belongs to RiverClan alone. Mews of triumph rose from the other RiverClan cats, but Fireheart saw with a feeling of alarm that Nightpelt was bristling. Nightpelt raised his voice. ShadowClan has the same need as it did under Brokenstar. We have many mouths to feed, Crookedstar. You made an agreement with the whole of ShadowClan. Crookedstar leaped to his paws and turned on Nightpelt. He flattened his ears and hissed, and the cats below fell silent. Quickly, Bluestar stepped between the 2 leaders. ShadowClan has suffered many losses recently, she meowed softly. With fewer mouths to feed, Nightpelt, do you really need RiverClan's fish? Crookedstar hissed again, but Nightpelt held his gaze without flinching. Bluestar spoke again, this time more forcefully. You have just driven out your leader and several of your strongest warriors. And Brokenstar went against the warrior code when he forced Crookedstar to agree to share the river. Fireheart swallowed uneasily as he noticed Nightpelt unsheath his claws, but Bluestar didn't blink. Her icy blue gaze glinted in the moonlight as she growled. Remember, you have not even received your 9 lives from StarClan. Are you so confident you can make these demands? Fireheart tensed as he felt the bristling of fur around him. The whole crowd was waiting for Nightpelt's response. Nightpelt looked away angrily. His tail flicked from side to side, but he said nothing. Bluestar had won. Her voice softened. We all know ShadowClan has suffered much these past few moons. she meowed. ThunderClan has agreed to leave you in peace until you've had some time to recover. She turned her gaze on Crooked Star, and I'm sure Crooked Star will agree to show you the same respect. Crooked Star narrowed his eyes, but nodded. But only as long as ShadowClan is not sent in our territory, he growled. Fireheart relaxed, letting the fur lie flat on his shoulders. Now that he knew what it was like to fight in a real battle, he admired his leader's courage even more in challenging these two great warriors. Muffled mews of relief and agreement sounded in the crowd as the tension on the great rock suddenly eased. You won't scent us, Crooked Star, meowed Nightpelt. Blue Star was right. We don't need your fish. After all, we have the uplands to hunt in now that WindClan has left their territory. Crooked Star looked at Nightpelt, his eyes brightening. That's true, he agreed. This will mean extra prey for all of us. Blue Star drew up her head sharply. No. WindClan must return. Crooked Star and Nightpelt looked at the ThunderClan leader. Why? If we share WindClan's hunting grounds, it will mean more food for all of our kids, Nightpelt pointed out. The forest needs 4 clans, Blue Star insisted, just as we have 4 trees and 4 seasons. StarClan has given us 4 clans. We must find WindClan as soon as possible and bring them home. The ThunderClan cats raised their voices in support of their leader, but Crooked Star's impatient yowl rose above them. Your argument is weak, Blue Star. Do we really need 4 seasons? Wouldn't you rather go without Leaf Bear and the cold and hunger it brings? Blue Star looked calmly at the warriors beside her. StarClan gave us Leaf Bear to let the earth recover and prepare for new leaf. This forest and the uplands have supported 4 clans for generations. It is not up to us to challenge StarClan. Leopard Fur, the RiverClan deputy, spoke up. Well, why should we go hungry for the sake of a clan that cannot even defend its territory? She yelled. Blue Star is right. WindClan must return. Tiger Claw spat back, drawing himself up so that he towered above the cats around him. Blue Star spoke again. Crooked Star, she meowed, turning to the RiverClan leader. RiverClan's hunting grounds are known for their richness. You have the river and all the fish it contains. Why do you need extra prey? Crooked Star looked away and didn't answer. Fireheart noticed how RiverClan murmured anxiously among themselves. He wondered why Blue Star's question had ruffled their fur. And Nightpelt, Blue Star went on. It was Broken Star who drove WindClan out of their home. The broad-shouldered she-cat paused. That is why ThunderClan helped you to chase him out. Fireheart narrowed his eyes. He knew that Blue Star was gently reminding Nightpelt of the debt he owed ThunderClan. The ShadowClan leader half closed his eyes, and after a silence that felt like an age, Nightpelt opened his eyes and then meowed. Very well, Blue Star. We will allow WindClan to return. Fireheart saw Crooked Star turn his head away in anger, his eyes like black slits. Blue Star nodded. 2 of us have agreed, Crooked Star, she meowed. WindClan must be found and brought home. Until then, no clan should hunt in their territory. The gathering began to break up as the cats prepared to travel back to their camps. Fireheart stayed where he was for a moment, watching the leaders on the great rock. Blue Star touched noses with Crooked Star and jumped down to the forest floor. On the rock, Crooked Star turned to Nightpelt. There was something about the look that passed between them that made Fireheart's fur prickle. Could it be that Blue Star did not really have Nightpelt's support after all? Fireheart looked quickly around, and he could tell from the anger in Tiger Claw's eyes that the ThunderClan deputy had not missed the exchange either. For once, Fireheart shared Tiger Claw's concern. This was a shift in clan alliances he had not expected. After the risk ThunderClan had taken by helping ShadowClan to drive out Broken-Star, how could they side with RiverClan now? Chapter 3. Blue Star led the way swiftly to camp. The noise of their return awoke the cats who had remained behind, and as the group streamed through the gorse entrance, sleepy figures began emerging from the dens. "What's the news?" called Halftail. "Were ShadowClan there?" asked Willowpet. "Yes, they were," Blue Star replied gravely. She strode past Willowpet and leaped up onto High Rock. There was no need for her customary call for a clan meeting. The cats were already gathering below the rock. Tigerclaw jumped up beside her. "There was much tension between the clans tonight," Blue Star began, "and I became aware of a possible new alliance between Crooked Star and Nightpelt." Graystripe squeezed into the small space next to Fireheart. "What are they talking about?" he asked. "I thought Nightpelt agreed with Blue Star." "Nightpelt?" Cricket croaked One Eye's ancient voice from the back of the crowd. "He has been named as ShadowClan's new leader," Blue Star explained. "But his name? It hasn't been accepted by StarClan yet?" asked One Eye. "He plans to travel to Moonstone tomorrow night," Tigerclaw told him. "No leader can speak for their clan at a gathering without receiving StarClan's approval first," muttered One Eye loudly enough for all the cats to hear. "He has the support of ShadowClan, One Eye," answered Blue Star, nodding at the old she-cat. "We cannot ignore what he has said tonight." One Eye gave a disgruntled sniff, and Blue Star lifted her head to address the whole clan. "At the gathering, I suggested we find WindClan and bring them home, but Crooked Star and Nightpelt don't want them to return." "They're hardly likely to join forces, though, are they?" called Graystripe. "They almost had a scrap over hunting rights in the river." Fireheart turned to his friend. "Didn't you see the looks they were swapping by the end of the meeting? They're both desperate to get their paws on WindClan territory." "But why?" asked Sandpaw, who was sitting beside her mentor, Whitestorm. Whitestorm answered her. "I suspect ShadowClan is not as weak as we thought they would be, and Nightpelt seems to have more ambition than any cat expected." "But why does RiverClan want to hunt in WindClan's grounds? They've always grown fat on the fish from their precious river," yelled Willowpet. "The uplands are a long way to go for a few wind-blown rabbits." The once beautiful Queen Dappletail spoke up in a voice cracked with age. At the gathering, some of the RiverClan elders spoke of 2 legs taking over a part of their river. "That's right," added Frostbird. "They say 2 legs have been living in shelters beside the river, disturbing the fish. The RiverClan cats have had to hide in the bushes and watch them with empty stomachs." Blue Star looked thoughtful. "For now, we must be careful to do nothing that may bring ShadowClan and RiverClan closer together. Go and rest now. Running Wind, Dustpaw, you will take the Dawn Patrol." Going to end it there. So what do you think is going to happen? WindClan used to come back, but they're not going to come back themselves. From the prologue we read, they're probably not going to be coming back themselves. Do you think they would be welcome if they came back? Do you think a big fight might happen if they did come back? Or would RiverClan and ShadowClan pretend they never had that little agreement? Let me know. I'm sorry about not posting over the weekend. I'm actually having some teeth issues. It's tender. So, yeah. I really hope you're doing good, though. Stay safe out there.